my love. This is going to be your one question tarot reading. For your reading, you asked why you are so afraid to be the person to kind of take initiative and ask the person out, or take the initiative to take the next step in the relationship. Why are you afraid of rejection? So we're going to look into that. I'm going to pull from the Romance Angels deck, my Universal Tarot. I think this is a good one for the Indigo Angel Oracle. I feel like I need to sneeze. Please excuse me if I sneeze. Oh, sorry. I try not to do that on camera, but I was playing with my cat right now, so woo. Okay, sorry, my love. Okay. And maybe I'll pull from the Energy Oracle, but we'll see. Okay, so first off, let's pull for the energy of the question. Then let's pull the energy of your relationship, like this connection between you and this person. Let's see what's going on there, and then we'll look into why you're afraid of rejection and, you know, pretty much the direction that this is going to go. Okay, so codependency just flew out right now. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. I don't really, for this deck, I don't really like to read the little blurbs. I just like to go based on the card. Love yourself first. And playfulness. Beautiful. So the energy of this connection with the two of you, first off, codependency can show maybe you have tendencies to be a bit too dependent on the other person. It kind of like the word clingy comes to mind when I'm saying this. So I feel like Spirit is kind of saying, do not, excuse me, do not fall into the trap of becoming super clingy or needy of the other person. If you find yourself getting into those tendencies, put yourself in check. This is like kind of one of those things where you need to put yourself in check to make sure that you put this back more, to make sure that you do not fall into those same, you know, habits, because maybe that is something that you struggled with in previous relationships. Love yourself first is also popping up. So this is kind of like Spirit's way of saying, in order to prevent yourself from becoming afraid of rejection, is one, self-love. Self-love is you taking initiative for yourself. You are saying, I love myself, I respect myself, I am powerful, and if nothing works out in this relationship, it's not gonna hurt me because I'm independent. I'm gonna jump right back into it and move on to the next, you know what I mean? And when you become codependent on the person, you become clingy with the person, you already set high expectations, and if those expectations aren't met, you're hurt. So it's kind of like Spirit is warning you to not fall into that trap. And if you see yourself kind of doing that, it's a time for you to put yourself in check. And then also the playfulness card is coming up, which is saying have fun with this connection right now. Have fun with this relationship. It's growing. It is evolving. It's not time to worry about seriousness. I mean, you guys have been in it for a few months now, and I feel like it's already, it's almost like you're already at that point anyway of where, you know, if you put a title on it, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I feel like the playfulness card is popping up as saying maybe you guys are taking it slow for a reason. You know, maybe the other party, they want to take it slow. And you just want to have fun with it, you know. Maybe there's like the desire of being serious is there, but maybe it's necessary that the two of you just have a very stress-free, no strings attached type of commitment. It's still a commitment. As long as the two of you are on the same page. So let's pull. Ooh, so we have Wheel of Fortune, we have Six of Cups, we have the Two of Swords, then we have the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands, and we have the Tower, and we have the Hierophant. You're going to be in a committed relationship, I feel, with this person. I feel like eventually that the shift is going to happen, that change, that initial, getting the ball rolling is going to start happening. You're going to be doing the offering, but actually with the 6 of Cups, I actually kind of see him as doing it. And it's going to be a surprising moment for you. It's going to kind of be like, I feel like the minute you start to open yourself up to getting ready to say something, he's going to kind of jump in there and do it for you. So I kind of get that feeling that maybe it won't completely be your responsibility to do it. I feel like he's already been thinking that. The 2 of Swords here is a blocked card. I feel like you're afraid of rejection because of protecting yourself. So you're afraid of rejection because you don't want to hurt again. You don't want to go through that. So you're protecting your heart, okay? Because I feel like she's crossing her arms over her heart. So you're afraid of rejection because you are protecting your heart. You don't want to have it broken. You don't want to have invested all of this time on this person to have it end and not be anything. So it's like you're already kind of setting up expectations. So be careful with that codependency. The Spirit is kind of just saying, like, keep it playful. Keep it very playful, very casual. Don't make it rigid. And I feel like that is so important because we have the Hierophant card coming up at the very bottom. He has the tendency to get rigid in relationships. This is like having too many rules, having too many, like, you know, you could do this, but you can't do this. You can't do this. You know what I mean? Don't fall into that pit. Don't fall into that pit in your guys' connection, because I feel like that's not going to fly with the other person. The other thing I'm seeing is what is going to hold this relationship together with the Hierophant is old-fashioned dating. And with that comes playfulness. Flirting with one another, getting to know one another, going out. It's a very casual. There's no expectation of marriage. There's nothing to worry about moving in together. There's just no, it's so free. And I feel like you need that. You don't need the rigidity, if that's even a word, of a relationship right now. Keep it flowing, okay? We have the 6 of Wands and the Tower card popping up. So it's, to me, it's kind of saying like that initial breakthrough, that breaking the ice kind of thing, taking things to another level. 6 of Wands is facing that. So it's like it's successful. So I do feel like there is going to be a commitment happening here, but I feel like it's going to happen more so on his time. So I know in my previous reading I've done for you, I said you had to be the one to break the ice. I feel like you've already been doing that, but he's going to take the reins, okay? So I feel like he's going to see that you've been putting in, you know, you've been opening up more. And I feel like what happens is he's trying to, or I shouldn't say he, because I don't know for a fact if it's a he, so I'm sorry. But they should take into consideration, I think that they are taking into consideration, you know, your emotions here before they make a move, okay? So as long as they're aware of how you feel, then they're gonna, you know, they may take over. And then that'll take a load off of you, you know? So let's pull on the whole energy of rejection. Let's pull on that. Let's see what that, you know, what that entails. I don't really know how this deck is gonna read with that, but let's just pull a card anyway. Free yourself. Perfect. So free yourself is just, to me, saying like when it comes to rejection, you need to free yourself from those negative thinkings, okay? Do not trap yourself in that negative mindset. This is not something that you need to, you know, obsess over. It's like, if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. If you two are already hitting it off, just let it like organically fall into place. Start opening yourself up, because I pulled that 2 of Swords for you. Start opening your heart more. And I guarantee you, if they're feeling you being open and receptive to new changes and advancements, they're most likely going to be more comfortable bringing that element into your relationship. And they may do it themselves. So we have apologize coming up. That's interesting, because maybe apologize is popping up for maybe you needing to be apologetic for yourself. You know, giving yourself an apology for being so hard on yourself and having so many expectations. Apologize is also another form of closure. So maybe the whole fear of rejection has to do with closure or lack of closure from a previous relationship. So that's also something for you to think about. Did you receive closure from a previous relationship? Or is that apologize card kind of hinting at the need for that kind of closure from that? Like you ended that chapter and now you're giving yourself the permission to move forward. So it could be that too. So I have the 10 of Wands, the Page of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and then this one, the 2 of Swords again. So yeah, when we come into the element of your rejection, like your fear of rejection, to me, I'm seeing it like it's all comes down to you protecting yourself. Okay, you're not wanting to feel pain in your heart, not wanting to feel stupid for all of the time you've devoted into this and then nothing happens. It's like it's a protection mechanism for you. But sometimes what you think is protecting you is also prohibiting you, okay? So you have to kind of differentiate that. The other thing I'm seeing is with the 10 of Wands, that the whole process of rejection is, it's an uphill battle again, and you don't want to go through it. You have taken your time to heal from past stuff, but I think there is still some closure needed there. I feel like it's like you've gone through your share of stuff and you don't want to go through that anymore. You don't want an uphill battle. You want a swift flowing relationship. And so I feel like that's kind of like something you're not wanting, and that's why you fear rejection. We have the Page of Cups, which is like the initial having that communication, talking, opening up. So when it comes to rejection, you can always ask them. I know it's like a little weird, like let's say if they, and I don't think that they will reject you, but let's say worst case scenario, if they did, have that communication with them, ask them kindly, like, can I just ask you like what's wrong? And maybe they'll give you some insights. And then we have the 4 of Swords, which is, the deep contemplation. This is also loneliness. So I feel like what it is like you're afraid of being told no, or you're afraid of being rejected because you're protecting yourself and all of that. But the other underlying thing here is you don't want to be lonely. Okay? You don't want to be lonely. You don't want to go through all that shit again, right? You don't want to have to deal with that. And I feel like it's like you have a good thing going right now, and so you don't want to ruin it. So you're afraid of taking it to the next level, but then you want it to go to the next level. I feel like it's going to go to the next level though. But let's pull on that real fast. Let's see where you guys are headed. I love these cards. I have been on a Doreen Virtue deck kick lately, if you guys haven't noticed. Okay, so let's we'll pull some romance cards for the direction, and then let's do some energy cards. So the direction, and keep in mind, like, this is a future type of a reading, so anything I say here can change, okay? It's not set in stone. So the direction that you guys are headed right now. This one also I want to just come. All right. Make the effort, express your love. I love it. So making the effort, okay? Making the effort right now and like where you're headed. So yes, put in the effort, put in the intention and put in the mood and just the vibes of you want to take this to the next level. You don't have to necessarily say it point blank. They will, your significant other will most likely sense that within you. So make the effort with that, okay? And I'm telling you, once they sense it, they're probably going to take the reins and take control. And then express your love. So communicate, okay? Communicate how you feel. If you're really feeling it with this person, tell them. I'm really into you. I'm really like digging, the time that I spend with you. This makes me really happy. Start sending playful, subtle hints, okay? And then see where it takes you. we have envy, rest and rejuvenation, and we have the woman, the thinking woman. So this is totally your energy here. So when it comes to the future, you overthink everything. I'm just gonna say it. The thinking woman is just making me think you are overthinking every little detail. The way he looked at you when you said this, the way that they responded when you said that. You are overthinking everything, and that's gonna get you into trouble because you're only formulating based on assumptions, and assumptions are not facts, okay? The rest and rejuvenation is telling you to just take it slow, okay? Rest and rejuvenate. Take it slow. Take it day by day, all right? So where you guys are headed, it is best for you guys to take it slow. Do not be in a rush to make things like legit and concrete. So like I said earlier, keep it casual, keep it fun and playful. You have the rest of your lives to be serious. Okay, just enjoy the dating energy right now. And I feel like also don't compare to other people's relationships. So maybe you have friends or they have friends or whatever who are 3 months in and they're already like completely committed to each other. You don't have to be in the same like time frame as them. So don't compare to other people. Everybody is in a separate, their own time frame with their relationships because they're all different. And then we also have envy. So that's why I'm saying that, is because to me, maybe you do look at other relationships and wish you were there. Or how come I'm not like this? Or how come we're not like that together? So be careful with the envying, because that could put a sour, just, like a sour vibration to your guys' relationship, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So stop looking at other people and analyzing their relationships compared to yours. Yeah, 8 of Cups, 2 of Cups, Page of Swords. There is the big conversation happening, okay? 2 of Cups and the Page of Swords. There's a lot to say. And then the 2 of Cups is that union coming together. So that's definitely coming up in the future. But there's also that 8 of Cups, needing to walk away from the past, needing to walk away from what no longer serves you. Like I said, if there was lack of closure in a previous relationship, you need to be able to walk away from all of that. You need to be 100% ready to devote your time, your heart, your attention to this one person. No more looking back in the past. Okay, no more letting the past baggage affect you. That baggage stays in the past. Do not bring it with you. So I feel like that's like another thing with that card. But definitely I feel like you guys are headed for a beautiful relationship. It's definitely mutual. But it's taking its time, and there's nothing wrong with that. So lastly, I want to just leave you with like one little message from the angels, from my angel cards. Oh, 2 cards. We have dreams and nature. So dream, okay? Do see yourself and picture and imagine yourself 10 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. Where do you want to be in this relationship? Imagine it, picture it, manifest it, okay? There is nothing wrong with imagining where you would want to be, and just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you'll never be, okay? Nature. I feel like this is kind of like spending time outside, spending time with the elements. Maybe that's a good time for you to release, your thoughts, especially if you are one to constantly overthink everything. Maybe going out in nature will be a good thing for you to release that, because you don't want to bring that kind of baggage, that kind of stuff into your relationship. That's just unnecessary things that you just don't want to deal with. So learn to not overthink every little detail. Let things organically flow and organically become what they are supposed to be naturally, okay? So my love, that concludes your tarot reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. If you have questions about your reading, please send me an email. And anyone who is watching, this is the 1 question tarot reading. If you would like to book a session for yourself, please click the link in the description box, go to my website, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, my loves.